Hey guys, it's Props, and today I'm making BD-1 from Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. The first thing I did was cut out the basic shape of the head, and then I glued those panels that I made onto a sheet of cardboard, which I then trimmed to fit and then glued all around the head to cover up all of these seams. I then went through and cut out the back panel, making a 90-degree corner to make the slanted back panel that it has. I then went through and used some bottle caps and other round parts to make the eyes and then the ear parts. And then for the antenna, I just used some old plastic straws that I found, and they were about the right length and thickness, and I just glued those into a hole I drilled into the ears. I then made the visor panel for the head, glued that in place, and then made some of the smaller details and panels that go across the head, just cutting those out of cardboard and gluing those into place. I then went through and made the torso, just cutting all of those shapes out, and then cutting some panels out to make some recessed details. I then went through and glued in some small greeblies, which were just some Gundam model kit runners, and then some parts from some old electronics that I took apart, and I just glued those into the recessed area that I made. I also drilled a hole in each side of the body so that I could fit in a pipe, which will eventually house the legs. I then went through and cut out the basic shape of the leg and glued a couple layers of cardboard together to thicken it up. I then went and covered the leg up with some thinner cardboard from a cereal box just to cover up the seams and the exposed cardboard texture. I then cut out the holes with my x-acto knife. Just something similar that I've seen in the details on this leg is that it's almost like a repurposed R2 leg. I don't know if anyone's realized that, but I just thought it was pretty cool. I also cut out some bottle caps to make the rounded corners that are on the leg. These bottle caps that I used had a bumpy texture on them, and the leg is actually smooth, so you may want to find different bottle caps than what I used, but I was fine with the compromise. I then went through and glued in some small circular details and made the piston detail that the legs have, and then I made the foreleg out of some cardboard. I drilled a hole in this the same length as the hole that was in the foreleg, and that way I could fit in a small wooden dowel to make them articulated. I also glued on some wires to make that detail, and then glued on some panels to make the mechanical detailing that's on the inside of the leg. I then went through and made the neck out of some cardboard. I made it wide enough so that I could fit in a tube so that the whole head could be on a swivel. I also cut this all out on an angle so that the head was parallel with the body, not at a 90-degree angle with it. After priming it, I went through and painted the whole thing white with a mixture of spray paint and acrylic paint that I painted on, and then I painted some red and silver details using my airbrush and some masking tape, and then I weathered it with a silver marker and then glued together all of the joints after doing a black wash. And overall, I think this turned out pretty good. All the details are there and it's pretty articulated. I might make a stop motion for it at some point. If you guys want to see more of my videos, be sure to like and subscribe. See ya.